To a place that's only ours. I will rest my head on your shoulder for hours. Please make it. Please make it.
Mountains always look smaller and closer to me at night, almost like movie sets. Oh, I love nighttime outside. And I love being able to see the star, planet friends, and the full moon. Just got back inside, room 21-degree weather, so good, it gives me life. Especially on the night of a full moon, and Jupiter is sitting right there. Well, the full moon's technically tomorrow, but we're seeing her in her prime right now, and we'll see her in her prime tomorrow too. And you could see Jupiter shining so bright, so close by, and Sirius and Orion and Procyon and Castor and Pollux and Capella and oh, my star friend shining bright. It's cold, it's crisp. I'm in this incredible cabin. So much unknown ahead, so much unknown. But right now, life is feeling so good. And I know dropping into this feeling, that's what paves the path ahead. Snow family. Hello, my loves. Representing Peru here. Got my alpaca hat from Peru. And this is a scarf that I crocheted with alpaca wool that is hand dyed by local plants in the valley. So beautiful. I'm sitting amongst these beautiful wintry bright red, mustard yellow plants in front of the Crystal River, which I just showed a little video of. It's gorgeously sunny after a day that was mostly gloomy, so it feels actually really warm. It's 33 out, but this is the first time I haven't worn a beanie. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm probably also just getting used to it now. It feels so good. It's so good. Wow. It was quite an unexpectedly deep, sort of disoriented couple days after arriving here. I flew out of LA on Tuesday. So last Tuesday, today is Wednesday. I flew out of LA on Tuesday, flew into Denver. I reconnected with a sweet friend that I know from Peru. He actually came to a grief ritual that my friend and I co-facilitated. One of the best experiences I had in all of my time in Peru. So it was beautiful to reconnect with him. He lives in Denver, picked me up from the airport, took me to a beautiful place where we had dinner, hung out for a while, sat by a couple fires, and then I stayed in this really artsy, cool, kind of hipster hostel. I never stay in hostels. Like, even when I was young, I didn't really have the words before, but I'm just too energetically sensitive. I don't sleep at all. There's too much noise, too much energy, too much chaos going on. And there is a really wide spectrum of hostels, like from the worst you can imagine in your mind. I think my friend actually that I'm seeing out here told me the other day that she once stayed in a hostel that had like 18 beds in one room. To me, that's the worst, the worst of the worst of the worst. And then I remember staying at a place in Florence, Italy, when I was studying abroad with a couple friends, and that was considered a hostel, and it was like the most beautiful little hotel in an old building. So hostels can be many things, I know that, but in general, just the whole shared room thing. And obviously, if there's younger crowds, there could just be more like late night stuff. And I just needed a quick night to sleep because I finished hanging out with this friend at like 10:30, and then I woke up early in the morning and had to catch a train. So I didn't even spend any time. I just wanted this quick kind of overnight. And the place really spoke to me. That's what was interesting. Like, I was looking at Airbnb. I'm definitely an Airbnb girl. And for some reason, this place kept popping up, and it had a very artsy feel, a really cool old building. Some synchronicities. It was just clear my body kept pulling me back to it. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna try this out. It might be the worst decision ever. I'm gonna do it. And actually, it was pretty amazing. It is a hostel that, and part of their marketing is being oriented towards people of all ages. It's not just like a full-on party hostel, but the bed was extremely comfortable, like absolutely more comfortable than any of the fucking hotel beds I had in Peru. Maybe not any of them. I had some nice ones, but in general, the bed was insanely comfortable. There's only one other girl in the room with me, only 6 beds in a room, but one other girl. And the place was just nice. The bathroom was immaculately clean. It blew my mind. But there was someone playing loud music. I think they had like a little bar downstairs, but it was, again, like really quaint. It wasn't like a party bar, but there was loud music until, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. So of course I couldn't sleep barely at all. But then I got to get up early and go to the train, which is a happy place for me. So usually me without sleep is not a good combo. and will be very disorienting and kind of heavy, but oh my God, I got to wake up to 23-degree weather. I've been fucking praying for winter, so that was amazing. And the station in Denver is so cute. I wanted to spend hours there. It was sad that I didn't actually go earlier. The station was so cute, and then I got to hop on this train, and it was a train, like a 5-hour train ride, 5 or 6, from Denver up into the mountains into Glenwood Springs, which is near some of these smaller mountain towns that I'm staying in, and it was stunning. Like, I would have taken that ride just for fun. So yes, I actually literally needed to get here, but that train, and that's why I chose to take a train and not fly just to Aspen, because I love train rides, and it was through through high mountains, snowy, gorgeous mountains, through just stunning nature. Maybe you've already seen, actually, videos. I got a lot of footage. Yeah, and then my friend picked me up from the train station, and we went back to her house, and I didn't get to sleep super well that night either, even though her little house is so gorgeous. Oh my God, the energy was immediately like womb space holding me. But she is just getting over a pretty intense sickness, so she started coughing that night. So I didn't sleep as long as I needed to, and when I woke up on Thursday morning, that it was crazy. I was just so dense, so heavy. Like, I never move that slow. I'm a pretty like fiery, fast moving person. I mean, I can also be really earthy and grounded, but in general, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like spring chicken, ready to go, so inspired, so alive. So like, another day. I was so slow and so heavy. It took me hours to just like wake up, and I did, I felt better throughout the day. Just woke up more, and her home is so beautiful, and being surrounded by the mountains and some snow is amazing. And then I did sleep well the next night, and when I woke up the next day, I definitely felt more me and had a beautiful day at her house. That's where I discovered the synchronistic book called When the Women Were Drummers, which I wrote about in the article that I posted for week 4 of this Ecstatic Living exhibition called Birds Are Born Twice. And so, yeah, I discovered that book in her little bookshelf in her precious house, and it was just like, oh my God, it was like stepping into a dream. I knew it was exactly where I was supposed to be, even though there's so many unknowns around timing and like what chapter is ending and how it's all coming together. So much is up in the air around this 4th quarter of the soul pilgrimage and what's coming after this, because I know I'm being guided to a place to root down. I know I'm being guided to people that I'm supposed to be rooting down with nearby. I know that's what this is all about, but I have no idea what the timing is. So I have a sense, like I'm booked to be here for 3 months, so that's the plan, and that will make this a year of a soul pilgrimage. But there's just so much up in the air. So at least for that moment, it was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. I don't know exactly why, but I'm supposed to be here. And then I got to the place that I'm pet sitting at right now in this beautiful area farther up in the mountains. Now I was at like 6,000 elevation before. Now I'm at like 8,000. Way more snowy, more cold, just what I wanted. They have an old wood burning stove. Probably also showed you that in the video, or I will. But man, like I was so excited that Friday night that I got here, but then Saturday and Sunday, it felt like so many things. The full moon that was happening right on top of, right next to my natal Chiron. I was in the final days of my moon cycle, just about to start bleeding, which is always like, yeah, the darkest before the dawn, before the release, and adjusting to the cold, the last days of this snake year. I mean, it was just like all the things. And so I set myself up well on Sunday night. Unfortunately, I had to miss my dear friend's birthday, which I'm still bumming about, but I know we're going to make up for it and have a great time and, yeah, just enjoy our time together here for as long as I'm here. But it was good because it really gave me the chance to just let my nervous system recalibrate. And by the end of the night, I was able to set myself up well to have a good start to the week. And it's just been blazing since then. Like, I've been writing for hours. Yesterday in particular, I wrote for hours and just got made bone broth, and I'm doing a cleanse for my body right now. I went to on Monday I had to go into town 40 minutes away to get groceries and produce and all that and come back. And then, then writing and making food. And I had an incredible session with a client today. And it's just feeling like, wow. This is the month I've been talking about for months, the rocket launch. And I feel like after that really unexpected kind of deep space that I was in over the weekend, almost that final shedding of the snake, today I'm feeling, this week, just this whole week, I'm like, oh my God, the momentum is building, and I'm grateful that I shed whatever I needed to shed, and that I gave myself the space to just be with it and be gentle on my body and listen to all its cues to arrive at this moment. So I'm feeling happy, feeling excited, feeling fucking grateful, feeling alive. Can't wait to see what this year brings. Oh my God. Fire horse, baby. Josie Lake, running river, sunshine. Walking right in between Beaver Lake and Crystal River. Oh, so beautiful. Nelly, come say hi. Nelly. Yes, you're a part of this moment too, Nelly. Oh, right on the mouth. Oh my God. I had to stop and capture this moment. My right eye's all foggy. because it's a beautiful breakthrough moment in the ecstatic living journey. I'm sorry, getting my thumb in front of the camera, and I need to put my gloves on because the sun has not come over the mountain and it's cold. It's like, I don't know, 27 degrees. This is a huge breakthrough moment for me, and this specific moment, it's all coming together and flooding into my awareness. But it's really been unfolding over the last week since I arrived into this beautiful mountainous area of Colorado. So many things that I've been praying for are coming into fruition. And it's really bugging me not being able to see. So many things I've been praying for have come into fruition. And it's all just dawning on me right now. Venus is squaring Uranus today, in case that means anything to any of you. I'm looking out at the riverbank just ahead of me here on the other side, and the sun literally just popped above the mountain, of course. But even before, the bit of sun rays that were popping over before the sun made it through are shining on the snow on the riverbank there, and it just looks like pure diamonds are shining, sparkling in the sun's rays. I'm sitting in front of crystal clear waters at over 8,000 feet elevation. The river itself is called Crystal River. It's 27 degrees outside. Why does this matter? I have been praying for a winter. Honestly, I think my whole life I have been, but I only really began to verbalize it in 2017, 2018, and in 2019 I began to seek it out. And in fact, the divinity of me wearing this beanie, I haven't worn this in I don't even know how long, and this is a beanie from Vermont when I went in the dead of winter. Oh my god, that was early February. Yeah, it was the Leo full moon in 2020. So it was like 6 weeks before the world went cuckoo. And I was seriously considering moving to Vermont. And I went in the dead of winter, full on. I think it was like 9 degrees outside when I arrived to my destination. And yeah, timelines ended up going in a totally different direction. Are we back to normal? Nelly. Timelines ended up going in a very different direction, as they did for most people, huh? And so many beautiful things have happened since then. So many unexpected things. I ended up living on a farm in Central California for a year, and then in Peru. I mean, that was so out of left field. And so many things have happened. But that longing for winter has just been like simmering, brewing inside me. And it's not just, when I describe it, it's like this is such a deep soul longing. Winter for me feels like home. It feels like this ancient home, like this home that I've known for so many lifetimes. It's like a deep, deep part of me, winter. And it hasn't made sense in this lifetime because I grew up in greater LA area. And I've only lived in places where it's primarily warm. I've lived all over California, so even when I went to Northern California, it's like you still don't have winter. Semi. Very California winter. And then living in the valley, even though I was at 10,000 feet elevation, I think because it's so close to the equator, there's just two seasons. It's rainy season or dry season. So I have been longing for this, like coming home to this part of me for years. And it's doesn't surprise me that as I'm finally arriving to it in the physical, it's because I've re-inhabited this inner winter part of me, this expression of me that feels very associated with winter. And so it's like I'm coming home to it the most in myself I ever have, at the same time that I'm coming home to it for a chapter here. I'll be here for 3 months total, and right now I'm just like a week and a half in. But so many other things are coming together all at once. My channel of creative expression, of my sacred contribution to the world, my service, my work, it all feels the clearest and the cleanest and the simplest that it ever has. And I just had an incredible, clear, succinct download yesterday of how, like a very basic structure to hold this. And it feels so right. It feels so right. It's so simple. It's so me. Just everything in my body is like, home, home. And simultaneously, I have been dealing with gut issues and, of course, nervous system issues my whole life. I say of course because if you've been following me for a while, I didn't come from just like a sunshine and rainbows background. And my body really absorbed so much conditioning, of course, in my nervous system. And it really chose to show up a lot in my gut. And it's been stressful and scary and overwhelming and humbling, inspiring. It's led me, it's the reason I'm here. The reason seriously why I'm sitting here today, so connected to my original soul essence, so clear on my sacred contribution, my creative expression, my service, my work. It all started with my health. It was moving towards wanting to understand the imbalances in my body that sparked this whole journey so many years ago. I'm trying to do the math in my head. It's like 10 years ago. And everything that's come out of that, I didn't expect that was going to turn into a spiritual journey, an emotional healing journey, awakening of my creativity journey, a living in Peru journey. I had no idea what I was opening, but I say this all the time, there's so many doorways in to coming back to your original soul essence, to reconnecting to your soul and what you're really here to experience and create. There's endless doorways in. You just pick the one that's alive for you in that moment and then keep following, just keep going, keep trusting, keep surrendering, keep taking the leaps. And so what's unexpectedly happened for me is I've landed in this gorgeous cabin for 2.5 weeks at this really quiet place. All of a sudden there's been this breakthrough in what my gut has been trying to tell me the whole time, what my whole system has been trying to tell me the whole time. 10 years ago, I started trying to figure out what all of this inflammation and this upset and this reactivity and sensitivity, this vulnerability, this imbalance has been about. And part of my journey with that has been along the path to realize I just needed to surrender, to stop trying to figure it out. It very much has to do with this Neptune transit. Neptune has just crossed into 0 degrees Aries, and where Neptune was crossing in my chart in Pisces for the last 14 years is in the place in the chart that represents your health. And with Neptune and Pisces, it's like surrender. The sooner you surrender, the better, because there's a divine intelligence that wants to come through, but you cannot manpower your way through it. You cannot think your way through it. You can't even like meditate your way through it. Like there's no way to say, okay, I'm going to do this. This is about dissolution of will, of ego, of what you think is reality, so that this so much larger, multidimensional, benevolent intelligence can come through and show you. But you're getting thrown around in the process. Like you're adrift at the sea and you're getting thrown around. So you just got to surrender. So luckily I figured that out semi early on. It was in like 2019 that I started to really realize like this is so much bigger than me. I need to let go. And so I've just been in this surrendered process and a couple times gone through waves of like trying to approach it again a little bit differently. And when I didn't really experience different results, I just let it go. And so I didn't come here. I knew that when I would be getting to this cabin and that spirit, my soul, goddess aligned me to this cabin is just insane. Like the amount of time and the timing. I didn't plan this trip. I got an invitation. I opened up to the field. Synchronicities and alignments started flowing in. What I ended up with is, after landing with a friend who invited me here, 2 pet sitting opportunities back to back. And this one came first, and it was the first 2.5 weeks. And following this, there's one for 2 months. This one is in a really small town. Like there's no store here. There's no market. There's nothing. I think, especially in the winter, I think there's like a couple family-owned restaurants, but they're not even open. There's nothing. It's higher elevation than the other places. It's a tiny, tiny town. This is what came first for 2.5 weeks, and then the other one for 2 months is in more of a well-known small town, but more well-known in like alternative communities. There's lots of beautiful farming and more kind of spiritual, creative people, and then of course people who have been living here forever. So it's a sweet mix, but it's much more connected to life, even though it's in these smaller mountain towns. So the fact that it came in this sequence, right, and I landed in this place, and my body, my whole system has just been going through this incredible calibration, and it feels really like the final days of the shedding. We're finishing in Chinese New Year, the snake year. So this whole last year from February 2025 to February 2026 has been this incredible shedding, releasing. And we're in these final days before we get to February 17th, which is not only the new moon in Aquarius, which marks the beginning of the Chinese New Year, but also it's an eclipse this year. And it's a potent one, and we're moving from the snake into the fire horse. So it's like we're in this final window of releasing, and this kind of final recalibration, so that as that fire horse energy like hits the ground running, we're ready for it. So on some level, like I knew when I got to this cabin, I'd be integrating, I'd be recalibrating. I just, moved through a big chapter, returning to my hometown and my family, and the whole last 9 months has just been incredible, of this whole new way of ecstatic living, of being in this more nomadic, intuitive soul pilgrimage. That's what my soul actually called it, that it was going to be a soul pilgrimage. And just really living so moment to moment in a way like I thought I was already living like that. This has been a whole other journey, testing my capacity to hold strong and steady when I'm having increased visibility, increased creative expression, shifting finances, shifting literal hemispheres, like so much shifting. And it's been a building of capacity at the same time of expanding my creative expression. It's been so much. So I knew there would be some level of integration, but you never fully know until you're in it, right? And just arriving here, I've already mentioned the things that have just been coming together. It's like arriving in winter and what this is doing for my nervous system, the quiet here. There's hardly any people here. There's no noise. I'm the loudest thing right now. And there's beautiful birds and the river is running, but it's like this level of quiet externally and what that's doing for my system internally. And this clarity, yeah, all these things are coming together. And this final big piece that just like is bowling me over right now. I've just had the most quiet miracle breakthrough in my health, in my gut health. My system is the least inflamed that it's been in my entire life. Like, really, probably since the womb is my guess. And it just came so quietly. It wasn't me forcing anything. As I came here, my body really told me, I want to eat cleansing foods. It wasn't like I want to go on a cleanse. It wasn't like I'm not going to eat this anymore. It wasn't I have to cut this out. It wasn't I have to anything. It was just this really gentle magnetic pull into eating very simply, very cleanly. And then in that process, kind of exploring and researching little things as they would come up along the way. And I've had this whole unexpected breakthrough that actually my gut has been like the actual terrain in my gut has been more balanced for longer than I realize. Like, I've been paying attention to my health and what I eat and how I move and how I breathe. And breathing is a hard one for me, but consciousness around it and processing my emotions and inviting in more play, like all of these things that connecting to my soul, expressing myself, all of these things that contribute to your health, that make a healthy organism, a healthy soul embodied. I've been doing that for so long, but what has happened is my nervous system, this is the big breakthrough I've been having. My nervous system has been imprinted to respond in the same way that I thought that I still had this really extreme underlying gut dysbiosis. And the irony is, by just following my body right now and eating the way I'm eating and doing this gentle back and forth research, what would we do without ChatGPT? I say that always, you should be using your discernment and questioning and trusting your body ultimately. ChatGPT works really well when you're following your intuition, when you can hear your body's messages and then you use it as a tool and you have discernment throughout the whole process. When that's going on, incredible breakthroughs. But yeah, the power starts within, the wisdom starts within, the direction starts within, and the ultimate knowing and clarity ends within. Yeah, following this, it's like, if I truly still had this underlying gut dysbiosis that I thought I had, I wouldn't be responding so quickly to my environment, to the foods that I'm eating, to the way that I'm taking care of myself right now. It's been like overnight. It leaves me speechless. I feel like I'm gonna cry again. To feel this clean, this clear in my energy. This clear in my body. This clear in my heart, my head, my creativity, my intuition. I know, baby. I'm almost done. There's nothing like it. So I had to share this with you guys. And Nellie's helping me remember to keep this short and keep moving. There's absolutely nothing like it. And I'm part of this is my study too. This is my first time going to my IC lines in astrocartography. And I am exactly on my North Node and Neptune IC lines here in these mountain towns, and my Uranus IC line is very nearby. And those energies are very familiar for me because in my chart, my North Node is conjunct Uranus and Neptune. So I'm very familiar with all those energies living together. For other people, going to those lines can feel all kinds of things. For me, there's a sense of familiarity, and the IC lines is really like it's the deepest root of your being. And it feels like all the things are converging all at once. This 10-year journey with my health, this 9-year journey of spiritual awakening, which is really just connecting to my original soul essence, my creative expression. And for me, original soul essence, it's your inner child, not all the narrative, not what your inner child went through, not the wounding, not the anything. It's this original essence of who you are that your child expressed unabashedly, right? And coming back to that as a sovereign, wise, intelligent, intuitive adult, it's the ultimate superpower. So, I'm sure I'll have more to say. I love you all. So happy to be here.